Whether you're recovering from ACL surgery, knee surgery, or dealing with chronic knee pain, most people approach the knee extension machine in the same two ways. They either avoid it because they were told to, or they jump on, crank out 3 sets of 10 reps, get pain in the front of their knee, and decide the machine is the problem. Here's the thing. Pain on the knee extension machine doesn't mean that the exercise itself is bad. It usually means that the programming is off. Most people are using one tool, straight reps, when there's a whole toolbox that most physical therapists never touch. In this video, I'm breaking down 3 isometric variations on the knee extension machine that I use with my online clients to build quad strength, reduce pain, and drive real adaptations, all without flaring the knee up. Let's dive in. Quick refresher, an isometric is when your muscle is contracting, but the joint isn't moving. Unlike traditional reps, there's no movement throughout a range, just force production at a fixed angle. If you watch my video on whether the knee extension machine is safe after ACL surgery, you already know that the research is clear. When programmed correctly, this exercises place less strain on your ACL graft than walking. I'll link that video in the top corner and also in the description if you haven't seen it. But here's what doesn't get talked about enough. There's more than one way to program this machine, and isometrics are one of the most underused tools that we have, especially when someone has knee pain, muscle inhibition, tendon irritation, or just isn't tolerating traditional reps yet. When used correctly, isometrics let us drive adaptation when straight reps would irritate the knee. And that's a game changer for people who keep getting stuck. There are 3 main types I'm going to cover: yielding, overcoming, and eccentric quasi-isometrics. Each one does something different, and each one has a specific window where it shines. A yielding isometric is when you hold a fixed knee angle against an external load. Think of it as setting the weight, getting your knee to a target angle, and just holding it. So, why do we use them? Yielding isometrics are one of the best tools that we have for modulating pain, managing AMI, that's arthrogenic muscle inhibition, which is your body shutting down your quad after injury or surgery, and improving central motor excitability. Translation, they help your brain talk to your quad again. They also build fatigue tolerance and can calm down an irritated tendon. This is often where I'll start someone who's early post-surgery, who has anterior knee pain with loaded squats and lunges, or someone who's dealing with patellar or quad tendon irritation. Instead of avoiding the machine, we just use it differently. Here's a bonus. There's a published data showing that isometric knee extensions at 90 degrees and 60 degrees of knee flexion places essentially 0 strain on the ACL graft. So even early after surgery, when programmed correctly by an ACL specialist, this can be a really safe entry point. A typical setup: pick a moderate weight, get the knee to 60 or 90 degrees, and hold for a challenging 30 to 45 seconds. Repeat for 3 to 5 sets. The goal isn't to grind to failure immediately, it's to get quality, sustained quad contraction without flaring the knee up. If straight reps on the machine hurt and you bailed on the exercise, this is usually where I'd have you start. Same machine, different programming, different results. Now we flip it. An overcoming isometric is when you push as hard as you can into a load that you can literally not move. You set the weight heavy enough so that no matter how hard you try, the leg isn't going anywhere. The training response here is completely different from yielding holds. Overcoming isometrics are a great way for hitting high volitional activation thresholds. In plain English, they force your nervous system to recruit the highest threshold motor units and muscle fibers that your quad has. The ones that regular submaximal reps just don't reach. High neural drive, high force production, maximum recruitment in a short window. This matters because strength loss after ACL or knee surgery isn't just a smaller muscle. It's also a neural problem. We see reduced neural drive, poor activation, and altered contractile function. So overcoming isometrics are one of the most direct ways to attack the neural side of the equation. Here's the setup. Load the machine heavy enough so that it won't budge. Pick an angle. Typically 60 or 90 degrees works well. and then push as hard as you possibly can for 5 to 10 seconds. Rest, repeat for 3 to 5 sets. That's it. Short, brutal, effective. You're not chasing reps, you're chasing intent here. The goal is to eventually work up to max effort on each rep. This is not where you start someone 2 weeks post-op or fresh off of an injury. This is a tool for the mid-stage and beyond, when the knee has earned the right to be loaded hard. But when programmed at the right time, this is one of the fastest ways to wake up a quad that's been asleep for months. This is the one most people have never heard of, and honestly, it's one of my favorites. The eccentric quasi-isometric, or EQI, is when you hold a yielding isometric at a target angle until your muscle fails to hold the position, and then you control the eccentric phase as the weight slowly lowers you down. So it starts as a hold, and then it becomes a fight to maintain that position, and finally ends with a slow, controlled, lengthening contraction. Here's why this is special. EQIs expose the nervous system to large mechanical loads and produce similar adaptations to traditional eccentric training, but with significantly less soreness and fatigue afterwards. That's a huge win in a rehab context. You get the muscle building and tendon loading benefits of eccentrics without as much fatigue. The training response: improved motor control, hypertrophy or muscle growth, strength gains, and what the research calls injury protective architectural adaptations within the muscle. Translation: your muscle fibers literally restructure in a way that protects you better. So here's the setup. Pick a moderate to heavy weight. Hold the position at your target angle. Stay there until you cannot hold it anymore, typically around 30 seconds. Then, instead of letting the weight crash down, you're going to fight it for 3 to 5 seconds on the way down. That eccentric phase is where the magic happens. Now, you might be thinking, John, won't this hurt my knee? When programmed correctly, no. The dose makes the medicine. Sets, reps, hold times, weights, all of it has to be calibrated to where you actually are in your recovery, not where you wish you were. Quick recap, because this is where most people get tripped up. If you have pain with traditional knee extension reps, AMI, or you're early in the post-operative phase or after injury, and you need to wake that quad up safely, yielding isometrics are usually where you start. If you're past the early stages, your knee tolerates loading well, and you need to drive maximum recruitment to break a strength plateau, overcoming isometrics are your tool. If you want eccentric and hypertrophy benefits without as much fatigue as traditional eccentric work, EQIs. These aren't an either or. In a well-designed program, you'll see all three at different points in someone's recovery journey, and sometimes even within the same week. The point isn't to pick one and run with it forever. The point is to understand the tools that you have so your rehab plan can actually do what it's supposed to do. Make you stronger without flaring you up. If your quad strength isn't coming back, or you're stuck dealing with front knee pain every time you try to load the knee, there's a good chance your program just isn't using the right tools. Same exercise, different programming, completely different outcome. If you're proactive, fresh out of surgery, or planning ahead and you want to do this right the first time, kudos to you. Get with someone who actually knows how to program this stuff. Or if you're months down the line and you're just feeling stuck, frustrated, and you're just starting to think that this is just your new normal, it's not. You just need the right plan. In either case, I'm here to help. Click the link in the description to book a free call with me so I can learn more about your situation and see if I can help you get back to the active lifestyle that you love with confidence. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, drop a comment with your favorite isometric variation, and subscribe. It goes a long way. I'll see you on the next video.